All right, strap in, everyone. We're going deep on WhatsApp today.
Yeah, you guys sent in a ton of stuff on this messaging giant.
A whole mountain of articles and research.
Exactly. And we're going to sift through it all
See what we can dig up.
and uncover the fascinating history.
Oh, yeah, those humble beginnings.
Key features, some tech details.
And, of course, the controversies.
Oh, yeah, we can't forget about those.
WhatsApp's journey is pretty wild.
It is, from a simple idea,
To billions of users.
a global phenomenon.
Where do we even begin with this one?
Well, let's rewind back to 2009.
Okay, 2009.
Two former Yahoo employees,
All right.
Brian Acton and Jan Koum.
I've heard those names.
Yeah, they were brainstorming an app.
Not the WhatsApp we know today, though, right?
You're right, it was way simpler.
Okay.
An app to display statuses?
Yeah, statuses.
Yeah, like next to people's names.
Like in your contacts?
Exactly, like at the gym,
Oh, I see.
in a meeting, that kind of.
Okay, so like a souped-up away message?
Yeah, you could say that.
Not exactly a global empire.
Not at first, no.
So then what happened?
Well, they released WhatsApp 2.0.
Okay. And
This version had a messaging feature.
Ah, so that's when things changed.
Things exploded, yeah, and this was perfect timing.
Oh.
Apple had just introduced push notifications.
It's for the iPhone?
Yep, so every status update,
Became a chance to chat.
and those pings kept people coming back.
That's clever.
WhatsApp's growth was phenomenal.
But I read that even with 400 million users in 2014,
Yeah,
they were losing money.
they were. Millions of dollars, actually.
Wait, how is that even possible?
Well, they had no ads, remember?
Right, a clean experience.
And a small team, so those costs added up.
So then Facebook swoops in,
In 2014, yep,
the $19 billion acquisition.
the biggest they'd ever done.
I remember people were freaking out.
Oh, yeah, lots of concerns about privacy.
With data sharing, all of that.
Some people even switched to Telegram,
Yeah, I remember that.
so it was a huge debate.
Could WhatsApp stay private under Facebook?
That's the question, right?
Still is, I guess.
But despite the controversy,
WhatsApp just kept growing.
1 billion users in 2016.
And 2 billion by 2020.
From simple statuses to global domination.
It's quite a story.
It is.
But WhatsApp's not just texting anymore, is it?
Oh, no, not at all. They've added a ton of features.
Let's talk about those.
Yeah, beyond the early days of text and photos.
Like voice messaging.
Oh, yeah, that came in 2013.
And then voice call.
In 2015, a real game changer.
It really felt like the future at the time.
It did free calls anywhere.
And they didn't stop there?
Nope. WhatsApp Web came along in 2015,
For desktops.
but it was clunky at first.
Needed a constant phone connection.
Right, and then video calls in 2016.
And that status feature like Snapchat.
That was 2017.
That's been nonstop.
File sharing, group video calls,
Stickers, fingerprint locking.
dark mode, disappearing messages.
So much stuff.
It really is. And even recently, they've added
Okay, like what?
message editing,
Multi-device support.
channels for broadcasting.
Wow, and an AI assistant?
It's like they want to do it all.
It seems that way. Which feature do you think was the biggest?
That's a good question.
I mean, in terms of WhatsApp's evolution,
I think it has to be voice and video calls.
yeah, that makes sense.
It turned WhatsApp into a real communication tool.
Like competing with phones.
Exactly.
So what about the tech behind all of this?
Well, technically, it's XMPP.
XMPP,
Yeah, it's a protocol similar to other chat apps.
yeah.
But the real differentiator is end-to-end encryption.
Right. WhatsApp's big thing.
But it wasn't always there.
It wasn't.
Nope, not in the early days.
Interesting.
It was 2014 when they partnered with
Oh.
Hope and Whisper Systems
Okay.
to implement the Signal protocol.
So that's when things got serious about privacy.
Yeah, it was a landmark moment.
But there's a catch, right?
You're sharp, yeah, backups aren't fully encrypted.
I knew there had to be something.
So there's still a vulnerability there.
I'll keep that in mind.
Good.
All right, now for the fun part,
What's that?
the controversy.
Oh, yeah. WhatsApp's had a few,
Misinformation's been a big one.
especially in India.
False rumors leading to violence.
Even deaths.
WhatsApp tried to limit forwarding.
But it's a tough battle.
It shows you the power of this app
Connecting billions of people.
and the responsibility that comes with it.
Absolutely.
And then there's the privacy debate.
Even with the encryption.
Data sharing with Facebook.
Yeah, that's been a big one.
Remember that snooping scandal?
With the spyware? Oh, yeah.
Injected through calls?
Even unanswered ones?
It made people question their privacy.
It did. And then there was Jeff Bezos,
The Amazon guy,
hacked through WhatsApp.
from a Saudi prince, allegedly,
It showed that vulnerabilities exist.
even with encryption.
It's something to think about.
And it's not just individuals.
No.
WhatsApp's been banned in some countries.
Oh, yeah, several.
China, Iran.
Brazil, Uganda, UAE.
For all sorts of reasons.
Censorship, protecting telecom companies.
It's complicated.
It is.
And then there's law
I think
enforcement.
the FBI.
They can get user metadata,
In real time.
even if the messages are encrypted.
It's a balance between security and privacy.
It's a lot to think about.
It really is.
Honestly, it is a bit unnerving,
Yeah.
knowing my data could be accessed.
I understand.
But I can't imagine life without WhatsApp.
Right.
It's just so essential now.
I think a lot of people feel that way.
It's a powerful tool.
With some trade-offs.
Speaking of which, WhatsApp Business.
Launched in 2018
They're finally monetizing.
and providing value to businesses.
Not just small ones either.
Nope, big companies too.
Airlines, banks,
They want to reach customers.
on the platforms they use.
Exactly. And speaking of reach,
WhatsApp's basically taken over the world.
over 2 billion users.
India's their biggest market.
They're competing with everyone.
iMessage, WeChat,
Telegram,
Signal,
it's a battle for attention.
with each platform copying features.
Trying to stay ahead.
But WhatsApp's a major force.
No doubt about it.
We've covered a lot of ground.
In this first part, from humble beginnings to features.
And tech and controversies.
We're just getting started.
There's so much more to explore,
Stay tuned for part 2
where we'll go even deeper
into the impact of WhatsApp.
on the world.
It's going to be fascinating.
See you there.
We'll be here.
Back again for more WhatsApp talk.
Round 2.
Last time, we were talking about global reach,
Billions of users.
then all the competition
It's crazy how important this one app has become.
to so many people.
Absolutely. And it's not just messaging anymore.
Right. WhatsApp Business.
There's a whole ecosystem there.
Like integrations with other services.
Way beyond just sending texts.
Like in India with GeoMart.
Ordering groceries right through WhatsApp.
It's blurring the lines.
Between messaging and everything else.
It's becoming a super app.
Like WeChat in Asia.
One platform for everything.
WhatsApp seems to be going that way.
At least in some places.
It makes sense. People are already spending.
So much time on WhatsApp.
Why not let them do more there?
But what about the data privacy?
Ah, yes. That's the question.
Giving one company so much control.
It's a trade-off. Convenience versus privacy.
It's something to think about.
It is.
Okay, but how does WhatsApp even handle
Yeah.
billions of users, technically speaking?
They've made some smart choices.
Right.
Investing in infrastructure
Servers and networks.
to handle all that data.
But the app itself is still pretty simple.
Lightweight and efficient.
So it works on older phones,
And slower connections.
which is important for global reach.
Especially in developing countries.
They really understood that early on.
Different devices, different networks.
But let's be real, there have been outages.
It happens.
Yeah. And it's disruptive.
When WhatsApp goes down,
It's like the world stops.
we rely on it so much.
For everything.
It shows our dependence on technology.
It really does.
So looking ahead, what do you think is next for WhatsApp?
Well, probably more features.
Yeah, I think so too.
Maybe borrowing from competitors.
You do that a lot.
Pushing the boundaries.
Of what messaging can be.
I'm curious about those super app plans.
Me too, and the competition is not going away.
Right, iMessage, Telegram.
Signal, all those regional apps.
It's a battle for users.
But here's the big question for me.
What's that?
Can they really stay committed to privacy?
With all the pressure to make money.
They've been criticized for data sharing.
With Facebook.
And more features means more data.
It's a tough balancing act.
Convenience and privacy.
We're caught in the middle.
As users,
We need to stay informed.
and demand transparency.
Make choices that align with our values.
It's not just about us, though.
What do you mean?
There's the whole issue of regulation.
Governments trying to rein in big tech.
Protect privacy, but not stifle innovation.
That could have a big impact on WhatsApp.
For sure, things could change drastically.
Okay, so we've talked about
Global impact,
Technical-
technical stuff.
and even the future.
But there's one thing we haven't really touched on.
Oh, what's that?
The human element.
You're right, behind all the tech.
There are real people using this app to connect, to communicate.
To share their lives.
That's where it gets interesting.
It's easy to get lost in the details.
The code, the servers,
But WhatsApp is about human connection.
sharing stories, staying in touch.
Building communities.
How many times a day do you use WhatsApp?
Subscribe to people.
Friends, family.
Colleagues, countless times.
It's my main way of communicating.
And it's not just text anymore.
No.
Voice notes, videos, calls.
It's changed how we express ourselves
Like voice notes, they feel more personal.
than just typing.
Like you're sending a piece of yourself.
That's what makes it so powerful.
It's not just information.
It's emotions, experiences.
sharing moments, big and small.
But we can't forget the other side of that.
The dark side.
The misinformation, the harm.
Like we talked about earlier,
WhatsApp can be used for good or bad,
It's amplified hate speech, rumors.
even incited violence.
Technology is never neutral.
It reflects us, our best and worst,
We have to be mindful of how we use it.
and hold each other accountable.
We've covered a lot of ground here.
From technical details to cultural impact.
And WhatsApp's role in our lives.
I feel like there's still more to uncover.
What else can you tell us about this app?
Oh, there's always more, trust me.
Well, lay it on me.
In this last part, we're going beyond the technical stuff.
Okay, I like the sound of that.
We're going to look at how WhatsApp fits into different cultures.
Now you're talking. Give me some examples.
Well, think about India, their biggest market, right?
Right.
It's more than just an app there.
How so?
It's a social lifeline.
A lifeline. Wow.
People use it for everything.
Like what?
Sharing news, recipes, planning weddings,
Seriously?
even closing business deals. It's amazing.
A whole digital society on WhatsApp.
It really is. And the app is adapted, too.
Adapted.
To local needs, they have features just for India. WhatsApp payments, it's been huge.
For transactions, I've heard about that.
It's changing how people handle money.
Especially in rural areas.
So it's connecting people,
Yeah.
but also shaping their lives.
That's powerful. Are there other examples like that?
Oh, tons. Think about the Arab Spring.
The uprising.
Activists use WhatsApp to organize,
Really?
to share information, even with censorship.
Wow, so a messaging app can change the world.
It can, but it's not always about big events.
What do you mean?
Sometimes it's the smaller stories,
Okay.
like doctors using WhatsApp for remote consultations.
In areas where it's hard to see a doctor.
Exactly, providing advice, sending diagnoses.
It's connecting people in ways we never imagined.
But with all this connectivity, there are challenges.
Oh yeah, we talked about misinformation.
Privacy and security become even more complex.
Especially with different cultures.
Right, the idea of privacy varies.
Like those WhatsApp groups.
People might share more freely.
Maybe without realizing the risks.
It's something to think about.
And what about the economic side of things?
Well, WhatsApp Business is helping small businesses.
Creating opportunities.
But there's a potential downside, too.
Yeah.
If WhatsApp becomes the only game in town,
It could control the market.
squeeze out competitors, it's a risk.
It is a lot to consider.
We've talked about the cultural impact.
Social, economic.
But what about our relationships?
How has WhatsApp changed how we interact?
It's instant, constant communication,
We're always connected.
which can be good and bad,
It can be overwhelming.
but it's also strengthened some connections.
I can stay in touch with people far away,
It's the WhatsApp paradox.
closer in some ways, further in others,
It's changed our expectations.
of how quickly people should respond.
It can put a strain on relationships.
This has been an amazing deep dive.
We've covered so much.
From the start to global domination,
Technical details, cultural impact,
how it affects our lives.
and it's not over yet.
WhatsApp's story is still being written.
It'll keep changing, facing new challenges.
The choices they make will be important.
For the future of messaging, for our world.
It's been eye-opening. Thanks for all the insights.
My pleasure. Knowledge is power, right?
Especially in the digital age.
Stay curious, stay informed.
And keep exploring.
That's what it's all about.